Did you know India's longest-serving fighter jet, the MiG-21, has finally retired after 60 years? It was once a sky warrior, but later became infamous as the flying Coffin. But here's a more shocking truth. With its retirement, India now has only 29 fighter squadrons, while China has 66 and over 1,200 fighter jets. Let's uncover the complete journey of the MiG-21 and how its retirement reveals a dangerous gap in India's air power. The MiG-21 was designed by the Soviet Union's mikoyan-gurevich Design Bureau in the 1950s. It was the first supersonic jet fighter developed by the USSR to compete with Western jets like the American F-16 for starfighter. The MiG-21 became the most produced supersonic jet aircraft in aviation history, with over 11,000 units built. Key features of the MiG-21: delta wing design, top speed, Mach 2, over 2,175 km/h, combat radius of 370 km, lightweight and fast, easy to mass produce and maintain. India's relationship with the MiG-21 began in 1961. Under Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, India signed a deal with the USSR to acquire MiG-21s to strengthen its air force against threats from Pakistan and China. By 1963, India received its first MiG-21 FL fighter jets. But that's not all. The USSR allowed technology transfer, enabling HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, to manufacture them in India starting in 1966. Why did India choose the MiG-21? Fast and reliable. Relatively affordable. Political and strategic ties with USSR. The MiG-21 proved itself in combat multiple times. 1965 War, India-Pakistan. First time MiG-21 saw limited action. Indian pilots still getting used to it. 1971 War, Bangladesh liberation. MiG-21s dominated the air. Shot down several Pakistani F-16 for starfighters. Played a major role in India's victory. Helped establish air superiority in East Pakistan. Kargil War 1999. Used for ground attack and patrol missions. Still active despite being over 30 years old. The MiG-21 had both fans and critics. Strengths: simple, fast, and deadly. Great acceleration. Easy to maintain with limited resources. Low radar cross-section made it hard to detect in early days. But there were serious problems. Poor visibility from the cockpit. Difficult landing handling. No fly-by-wire system. And worst of all, its high crash rate in India. It became infamously known as the Flying Coffin, due to the number of IAF pilots lost in crashes, especially in the 1990s and 2000s. More than 400 MiG-21s crashed, and over 200 pilots lost their lives. India operated several versions of the MiG-21 over time. 1. MiG-21 FL, first variant. 2. MiG-21M, upgraded version with better radar. 3. MiG-21 BIS, heavier payload, more powerful engine. 4. MiG-21 Bison, final modernized version with new radar, R-77 missiles, and digital avionics. Even after 5 decades, the upgraded MiG-21 Bison remained combat-worthy. In 2019, a MiG-21 Bison famously shot down a Pakistani F-16 during the Balakot airstrike aftermath, piloted by Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman. After over 6 decades of service, India is finally closing the chapter on its most iconic yet controversial fighter jet, the MiG-21. On the 19th of September, the Indian Air Force will formally retire its last MiG-21 squadron, the No. 23 Squadron Panthers, based at Chandigarh airbase in northern India. The retirement will be marked by a final ceremonial sortie, symbolizing the end of India's journey with its first supersonic fighter jet, a jet that defined an era of air power in South Asia. With the MiG-21 now retired, India is left with only 29 fighter squadrons, dangerously below the minimum requirement of 42 set by the Indian Air Force decades ago. But here's the shocking truth. That 42 squadron figure was calculated for a single front war in the 2000s. Today, India faces the real possibility of a two-front war, with China on the LAC and Pakistan on the Western Front, plus increased threats in the Indian Ocean region from Chinese aircraft carriers and bases. In reality, India needs 50-plus squadrons just to ensure a credible deterrence and maintain air superiority in multiple sectors. Compare this. India, 29 squadrons, 522 fighters. China, 66 squadrons, 1,200-plus fighters, including J-20 stealth jets. Pakistan, 24 squadrons, 450 fighters, including JF-17, F-16s. Together, China and Pakistan field 90-plus squadrons, over 1,600 combat aircraft. India is significantly outnumbered and outgunned. What must be done? Procure 5-plus squadrons of 5th-gen jets immediately through Russia, Su-57. Fast-track AMCA stealth fighter program. Mass production of Tejas Mk1A and Mk2. Upgrade all Su-30 Mki squadrons with better radar and weapons. Expand squadron strength to 50-plus by 2035. Without rapid modernization, India risks losing air superiority in future conflicts. The skies are no longer forgiving. It's not just about how many jets we have, but how advanced, how fast, and how well we use them. The MiG-21 served with honor, but its farewell reveals the gaps in India's skies. If India wants to defend its borders in the future, it must modernize, fast. Thank you for watching this in-depth breakdown of India's MiG-21 story and the fight for air dominance. Do you think India is prepared for the next big war? Comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.